Hello, everybody. This
Hello,
is
everybody.
Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9002, and I am your host, SneakyDevil. Welcome to the Big Talk Show.
Welcome to the Big Talk Show, folks. This is an abomination against
We're going to talk about Obama today.
Wait a minute, I thought we were talking about impeachment and that demon.
Thanks, Obama.
Why is this
Wait a
what I
minute.
have to walk
Wait a
into?
minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, hi, Max.
Why do
Are
I have
you
to
a
walk
Trump
into this?
supporter, boy?
What do you mean, why do you have to walk into this?
Why do I have to walk into this?
Walk into what? We're just doing our normal, everyday, average
Yeah, this is
intro.
just our podcast, Max.
Yes.
Sure, we're doing some funny voices.
Everybody knows that the Big Talker 1210 is completely legitimate and by no means ridiculous. Got a resub for the founder badge. Damn straight you do. Thank you, Barrett.
Oh, I should do that.
Yeah, gotta get those founder badges while they're there, folks. You don't want to not have your founder badge.
You just want to steal it from someone else.
Yes. Yes. Max understands completely. It's not about making sure that I have it.
But making sure no one
By
else
the way,
does.
how do the Twitch Prime subs work anyways?
What do you mean?
They count as normal subs.
So it's just $5 in Sneaky's pocket that will eventually make its way back to me.
No, the Twitch Prime subs, instead of me getting $3.50, I get $2.50 from, and they are also non-reoccurring.
Okay, so that's like 75 cents that will eventually make its way back to me.
Yeah, I really don't understand why the Twitch Prime sub, which is free, is
because it's free.
Well, yes, but it's Amazon saying, here, you have a free sub to give someone, also, we're gonna take half back. That's I don't know, that feels a little bit silly.
I mean, it's not any sillier than, you know, this free money eventually make its way back to us, so...
No, I suppose that's true. Do gifted subs work like regular subs? Yes, they do. They're non-reoccurring, though. The gifted subs do not... what's the word I'm looking for? Refresh. They like, you have to subscribe personally to...
But that individual can gift X months.
Yes, that's true as well. You can gift X people in X months. Anyway, so, you know what I'm feeling tonight, folks? I am feeling some exceptional trash tonight, and I really want to cover something that's going to make everyone else just die a little on the inside.
Oh, so the usual.
Yeah, except this time I don't want to, like, seem like I'm somehow biased or, you know. So I'm just going to reveal my archaic methods, my arcane methods, sorry, of how I select the fic tonight. So let's waggle that mouse cursor back and forth a little bit, and this one. Okay. It's a worm fic. That's gonna be bad. Gift subs don't give founder badge. No, they do not. But you do get a little tiny icon next to your name if you gift subs to people.
That's cool.
A wormfic, how surprising, sarcasm. Well, I mean, yes, your choices tonight from the list I was just waggling my mouse at were Naruto D times D, Wormfix, My Hero Academia D times D times D in general. I just went out and got some more fanfic, and a lot of it was D times D stuff that just did not make the cut. And believe me, my standards are pretty low when it comes to reading fanfic. All things considered. I forced Catfish to read King of Magic. We only got through the first chapter. I am immensely impressed you even got there. It took us a whole 2 hours last time, and that was with us barely deviating. Probably, I think. Maybe.
Kill me, please.
Which one was King of Magic again?
The one that had literally Harry Potter is related to every leader ever, and
Oh,
Harry
that
Potter has
stupid.
every vault ever, and Harry
You mean
Potter has
Harry
every
Potter?
bloodline
Harry Potter
ever.
in the Book of Deuteronomy, Sneaky.
Yeah.
Okay, Sneaky, there were like 3 of those that have
No,
been
no,
released.
not. There was
No,
nothing
Max,
like
he's
King of
speaking
Magic.
specifically about Harry Potter in the Book of Deuteronomy, the one where it was title.
No, where
Oh,
it was literally
oh,
like
the
15
one where
minutes
like,
of us just
okay,
reading titles. Yeah,
oh, okay, yeah, the one where I was just like, is this an author's note? No, it's another list. Is
yeah,
this an author's note? No, it's another list.
yeah. That one. Yeah, yeah. That was the thing. All right. So then, let us begin. Of course, I would be remiss if I did not remind everyone here that I am not encouraging anyone to follow the author in any form or fashion and contact them in any form or fashion,
Don't talk to him.
as
Don't look
Twitch
at
believes
them.
that is to be harassment, and so I therefore, by Twitch guidelines, must remind you all to not do that. So, anyway, this is Mutant Deviations. You know, this new creator dashboard thing is really freaking throwing me off. It's so weird. Anyway,
I'm sure it's not that
when
bad.
Taylor Hebert triggered, she found herself with no support at all. No, either friends nor family came to her rescue, or even offered pleasant words of comfort. When even her own father didn't show up at the hospital, Taylor knew she'd have to make her own way through life.
This kind of bullshit. Taylor's own father didn't even show up at the hospital.
It's like,
What do you?
no, you have not read the story.
A little paranoia never hurt
Or if you
anyone while
do, like,
heroing.
you're gonna have to give me a massively excellent reason for why Danny Herbert, who admittedly not the best dad.
Emotionally, he was kind of not there. Physically, though, no, he's gonna show up.
Like I said, I'll admit, not the best dad.
Yeah.
I'll grant you that. But come on.
It's just, oh, her own father wasn't even there to comfort her, and I'm not even talking about the hospital part. I'm talking about in general. Like, he makes the general statement at first: neither friends nor family came to rescue her or offer her words of comfort, and then not even her own father showed up at the hospital. But it's like not my family. 99% of it is dead or out of state. Not my family, who I completely, purposely, kept blind to the whole situation, showed up and ever offered me words of comfort. Okay, well, you literally never let your dad know what was going on, and you made steps to hide it and obfuscate it from him. So you're really gonna get mad that he doesn't know you're being bullied? Really?
Dad didn't know I was getting bullied when I literally did everything in my power that I possibly could to hide it from him.
Yeah. And then it says neither friends. What friends does Taylor have?
I think that's the author's point. Oh, I don't have any friends. Oh, sad.
See, I just don't get this, I also just dislike Canon Taylor a lot. We've gone over this before.
Look.
I
The
love the
only time
Source.
people went to see other people in the hospital at my school was when they were dying.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
If it wasn't something serious, it was like, I don't have fucking time, man.
Yeah, that's true enough. But even that, even then, like Wild Bow, this again, this is gonna be another pick on Canon moment. But Wild Bow was like had a moment where Taylor complained about how Emma drove everyone away from her. And I don't know about you guys and how your school lives worked, or how cringe-tastic it was or wasn't, but like
I was, in fact, a sad nerd reject.
you can all probably guess from my general persona that I wasn't exactly the fan favorite amongst my peers.
What?
during school. I still managed to get a quite eccentric group of friends. You know, without even trying. Like, I hate people. Like, I went through my school in high school sleeping and reading a book. And I still managed to walk away with a solid group of about 10 people that I could hang out with after school was over and at their houses and crap. So, like, you know, post-school friends. Like, after school was over, we still hung out. And, you know, it wasn't like, oh, I only talked to this person while we're at school. Hey, thanks, Basilis. You know, so, and that was without trying. And that was with actively sleeping during school and only reading a book and not talking to anyone. And I still managed to get a group of friends. And with my personality and my attitude. So, I honestly cannot fathom how Taylor managed to not get a single friend in the 2 years that she was at high school.
In order for what's-her-face to turn an entire school against her, it would have had to have been, she would have had to have been saying stuff like, oh, Taylor fucked a dog or something. And Taylor would have had to have done something to encourage that belief.
Now, don't get me wrong. I can understand, sort of, the cliquey nature of the Whammons, in high school at least, and in how possibly her just going around and just spreading some of the worst freaking rumors ever about Taylor, and Taylor just not even bothering to try and refute them or, you know, clap back at all, and how that might be taken by the cliques of the Whammons. But, like, you know, there's plenty of outcast guys, you know, like, I'm not... Oh man, I hate sitting next to Greg, he's so annoying. Okay, well, Taylor, maybe this is why you don't have friends. You know, God forbid someone...
who I bet doesn't have any fucking friends? Greg. You know who I bet would be really happy to stick up for you if you extended just a teeny bit of human fucking kindness?
Like,
Chad,
canonically, this guy is just, like, still, like, yeah, so he's the awkward nerd, yeah, and he's kind of awkward and doesn't shut up about the thing he really likes because he doesn't really have much social interaction. But he's nice to you, regardless of everything that Emma's done. And I'm sure he has his group of friends, and I'm sure they have some friends, and I'm sure at some point in time, if you just stopped complaining about people being nice to you, you would have gained at least two to three people you could have talked with and hung out with. But this is my complaint with canon Taylor, not with this author's version of Taylor, which is basically an exaggerated version of canon Taylor, because canon Taylor at least never moped about how her dad and friends never bothered to notice that she was a sad sack of shit. But that's what the setting is. I remember high school well. Outcast never hung out together. Yeah, exactly. Like, all the Outcast people hung out together because literally no one else would talk to them. Literally the easiest way.
I could eat lunch by myself and definitely get my shit kicked in, or I could go eat lunch over there with.
Or we could cluster together as a mighty.
No, don't.
You know
Don't.
All I had to do was join the marching band if the episode had one.
The marching band stuck together, yo.
Well, it's not just that. Some of the most popular kids in school, odds are, at least one of them is a marching band nerd.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, all 4 years of my high school, we had like 3 or 4 kids that the entire school just knew.
Yeah.
Don't know how. But, like, it seemed like everyone knew who this person was. And they seemed to know at least 3/4 of the school by name.
See, I didn't know the school by name. In fact, I barely remembered anyone's names, and more often than not would call people by their last name because I forgot their first one.
Oh, I was a big fan of that.
But everyone in the school knew me. Not for good things, mind you. But everyone in the school knew me.
I mean, see, it doesn't count that saying everyone in the school knew me doesn't count because my entire school was like 600 kids. Like there was
I
not
mean,
a lot
look,
of
my
us.
graduating class was 1,000 people.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. His graduating class was bigger than my entire school.
But, yeah. Anyway, let us keep going. A little paranoia never hurt until she found out a secret she should have never learned. Skitter times
My
Pansaya.
dad's gay!
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait, is that not it?
Nah, no, I don't think so. Not this one. Skitter times Pansaya. Tattletale and Canary.
What? Why do they do that? Why are they always like, let's make Taylor gay? Guys.
I mean, doesn't she go into like a several paragraph internal drooling over how fit Brian is?
Yeah, like, she's like, oh, that is a very muscled boy.
So,
I think the most she ever does is go like, oh, there are certain, like, female superheroes who are undeniably hot. But that's like when a guy goes, listen, I'm not gay, but Ryan Reynolds is hot. Like,
I mean,
yes, we
you
can
know,
all
I know
recognize
now,
Ryan Reynolds.
now, Atin, this could possibly be a story where Skitter meets Panacea. And Panacea goes, skedaddle, skadoodle, your vagina doesn't like noodle.
Max?
I'm not. Nope.
You
I'm
know
not getting
what we
into
need
this.
to do.
Trying to get him committed to a mental ward?
Yes.
I'm
It's
glad
the
I
only
left
hope.
everyone speechless with that one. I'm going to take a victory shot for that. That's both strong and smooth. Alright. This will be my first worm fig, everyone. I've been tossing around this idea with my beta for a while, so I have some fairly detailed plans on where it's going to go. You know what, author? If that is true in even the slightest, I will give you kudos. Fair warning, I will probably not be consistent with lore revealed in Ward. You know what, author? I'm fine with that. Ward is episode 1 through 3 of Star Wars. That's my opinion on Ward. It's a series that everyone wanted more of, and then when they got more of, they were like, no, wait, not this.
Wait, stop.
Anyway. I am going to try cross-posting this, blah, 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 blah. Split 01. I shuffled from foot to foot as I rifled through my purse. You can go ahead, I mumbled to the freckled-faced brunette behind me. You let 5 people go ahead already, the girl replied, narrowing her eyes at me. I fidgeted, grimacing as I held up my bag and tried not to meet her eyes. Looking inconspicuous was apparently a lot harder than I had expected. Maybe I should have come in costume. This was stupid. Wait. So
What?
so Taylor's trying to low-key observe something or whatever, right? I don't know. But she's like, you know what I should do? I should get in fucking line. I should get in line and pretend to buy something. Nobody
No, let's be clear.
will ever find that suspicious if I just continuously
I should go stand
here.
in a store and just kind of blink at people.
You know what, actually? Everyone's going to write you off as an insane person, because what she's effectively done so far, according to the author, she's walked into this store, walked up to one of the counters, to, as if she was going to buy something,
Yeah, it's the bank.
and then took out her wallet and just kept fiddling with her wallet.
Not even that. Her like, here's the thing, right? Maybe if you were a 40-year-old woman, people would buy that you just lost your whatever, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you actually physically keep your moolah in, people might buy that you lost that.
Yeah. Or if you're a man and you're wearing cargo pants and a shirt possibly with also pockets on it, you get to play the pocket game. Where you slap every pocket on your body because you're like, shit, where the fuck did I put this thing?
Yes, the pocket game.
Where instead of actually checking any pocket, you just keep slapping yourself, hoping you're eventually going to slap the object you're looking for.
To be fair, sometimes you do end up slapping it.
Yes, that is true. But in the meantime, you just look dumb. Slap, 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 clap, 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 slap, 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 clap, clap, clap.
You enjoying yourself there.
Jimmy Neutron, that was a show.
Of course he's enjoying himself.
Anyway. Yeah, also, come on. People, this is Brockton Bay. People might start to get suspicious. Like, is this person about to rob this place? This was so stupid. So stupid. I wasn't ready for this. I was recon. I was supposed to be recon and intel. Well, you're doing a terrible job at both reconnaissance and intel. You're not paying attention to anything, and you're kind of just fiddling with your stuff. You're too
and
busy.
You are very decidedly not inconspicuous.
You're too busy trying to act inconspicuous to actually look at what's going on around you.
Like, the first thing every stupid spy movie ever says is, pretend like you're supposed to be there and everybody will think you are. Except here's the thing. Real spies tell people that too.
I mean, yes, that is actually advice. I have gotten into places I have no means of getting into because I did that.
Yeah,
because here's the thing, right?
Most people don't know if you're supposed to be there or not, as it turns out.
If you just act like you're supposed to be there, they just go, oh, this is okay then.
That's the other thing, right? Like, I can take a family video, for instance.
Yeah, sure.
I've been there. I now understand the corporate idiocy there. I can walk into any family video in America, and, all 17 that are left, and I can probably pretend that I know. I can tell them my store, I can give them a fake employee ID, all that jazz.
Well, I mean, it's really, like, the whole premise of spearfishing is to sound like you know what you're doing, you know?
Like, listen, anyone can walk into a Target, wear a vaguely red shirt, and there will be at least one dumbass motherfucker who will ask you if you work there.
Dude, no, man. I have been approached multiple times at multiple convenience stores. Well, I say convenience stores, but, like Target, Walmart, etc., etc. Like, not even wearing anything remotely to the uniform. And I guess people just assumed I was the frickin' manager or something. Because I was, like, walking around with, like, a serious look on my face as I was looking at everything on the shelves. And they're like, oh, man, he's got to be, like, a manager or something. Like, can you help me find X item? And I'm like, man, I can't even find my own items.
Get the fuck away from me!
I can't even find my own items, let alone whatever the hell you're looking for.
Do you know where the dog food is? Lady, I can't even find the antiperspirants.
People have brought Pratts into Walmart before by just walking them in as if they were service dogs. I mean, well, yeah, but that's the sort of, like, 50-50 thing. Where it's like, even if it doesn't look like it's a service dog, management doesn't like to make a scene when it comes to that.
Yeah.
There was a guy before who was able to steal money from the register by convincing a cashier he was there to relieve them from break. Yeah, that is, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. Where in the bigger stores like Walmart, where you just have so many employees, you can absolutely just get away with, oh yeah, I'm just new here. It's my first day. That's why I don't have my vest. I'm here to relieve you.
No, not even that. You can be like, oh yeah, I've been through the 2 days of training, but I forgot my vest, or they didn't give me a vest.
Oh, management being management again. They forgot my vest or something.
Or they were out of
he was a
vest in my
former employee.
size.
Yeah, so you could sell it even harder. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's just.
There's a million ways to do that.
And if it's like a fast food place, it's really easy.
Oh my god, if it's a fast food place, dude, you could show up there half naked and be like, I'm the new fry cook. I'm the guy who's currently there, who has almost certainly been working for about 3 hours more than he's legally supposed to, will be like, Jesus fucking Christ, finally, you asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I was saying in terms of going incognito, just literally just walk in. Don't even have to order anything. Just walk to one of your seats and just be on your phone. Act like you're waiting for your food sitting down.
Act like you're waiting for a friend. Like,
nobody will question it. If you're at a bank, banks are a little bit harder because they've specifically designed banks to not allow for loitering. There's like no area you can really sit down. And most banks I've been in, at least in the Northeast, there's like no real area you can just sit down and hang out at because they do specifically, don't want you loitering.
But here's the counterpoint, Sneaky. You can pick a busy day, go on a super busy day,
right,
and sit in the waiting area. Like, go on. And here's the thing. Taylor's dad runs the dock workers union.
Well, he runs hiring.
Yeah, okay, but he helps run the dock workers union.
Yeah.
He almost certainly knows when payday is.
What the fuck did I return to? Sneaky's giving criminal advice. Excuse you, sir.
She could easily figure out when people are going to be depositing all them sweet, tasty paychecks.
Well, I mean, so I'm assuming with how this setup is, with the fact that the author has specified that a brunette is talking to Taylor now, it's obviously Panacea. Panacea.
Panacea pet.
Panacea. Amy. We're going with Amy. Now that Amy is interrogating her over this. So it's clearly this is the Brockton Bay Bank, and Taylor got a tip, quote unquote, somehow that the robbery was going to go down here. So I sort of understand. Yeah, I sort of understand that you want Taylor to, be in the bank, but, she uses bugs to fight people, author. Why would she need to be in the bank? Why can't she just,
for crying out loud, I think it was, the third or fourth thing she figured out within a week of having those goddamn powers was, oh, I can use these bugs to spy on people.
Actually, that was literally the first thing she learned. Because remember, she got sent to the psych ward because of that. And then by the end of the week, she realized that what she was seeing and hearing was, in fact, actual stuff, but it was from bugs. And that's why they let her out of the psych ward, because she stopped screaming about the walls of ears.
And they were like, okay, she just went temporarily insane, understandably so, from being shoved in a locker.
Yeah.
You're right, I'm sorry. So it was the first thing.
Yeah.
So she could literally just bring in a fly.
Just hang out.
It's a...
Literally, don't even have to smoke it. All you have to do, put a cigarette in your mouth and stand out in the alley next to the place. Like if you don't want to sit across the street or something, and you still want to be able to get there quickly, go to the side alley, put a cigarette in your mouth, and get on your phone. And people will just go, it's just another fucking teenager smoking.
Yeah. The worst thing that could possibly happen to you is a concerned person asks if you're old enough and or if you know about the dangers of smoking.
But this is Brockton Bay, so that probably won't happen.
I know, but that's why I said the worst
Yeah.
possible thing. And here's the thing, Taylor. Even if that person comes up to you and goes, smoking is bad, well, guess what? Now you're a teenager getting a lecture in an alley. You are the most unnoticeable thing in the goddamn universe.
That is also true.
Everybody is going to walk on by that. The only way you'd be less noticeable was if it was a mom holding a shoe.
But as we all know, you cannot write characters smarter than yourself. So it is understandable that the author wouldn't have the mental capacity to realize that Taylor has the mental capacity to not.
Sneaky, I just realized something. We can be character witnesses in case this author ever gets called to be a crime. We've read their fan fiction. They are too stupid to have robbed a fucking bank.
Yes, that's definitely going to happen. What the hell was I doing at a bank in civilian clothes in the middle of the day trying to stop a robbery? A robbery I wasn't even sure the time of. I mean, that's a very good question, Taylor. Why are you in the bank? You have powers that let you see up to a block away with bugs.
Why are you not anywhere else, including possibly the roof of the building next door?
Yeah. I know. I'm really sorry. I thought I had a check from my grandmother, but I can't find it. I don't know where else I could have put it, and I don't want to lose my place in line by dropping out entirely to go to the bathroom and search everywhere. Oh, God.
Go to the bathroom. It's a fucking bank.
Yeah, I'm not.
There are tables all over the place. Like,
I mean, maybe Brockton Bay General is too cheap for that. Maybe it's just literally just a square corridor, where you walk in and there's some checks at the table, and that's about it.
Okay, but even there.
Well, no, actually, the bank in Brockton. I think this is supposed to be the good one in downtown.
Brockton Bay General?
Bigger than... Yeah, the one that's described as, what, 2-3 stories tall?
I think it might have been, yeah. I don't know.
Because the idea of a bank having a bathroom to me is very strange.
Well, I mean, the bank would obviously have a bathroom, it just wouldn't be open to,
No, the only bathroom that would be there would be employees only behind locked doors.
Yeah.
No, the idea of there being a public one is very strange. We have nothing but small banks here.
I mean, there's only small banks up here.
Depends on what bank I go, but some of the banks have a bathroom. Some of them don't. I mean, it just depends.
Anyway. Oh my God, was I always this bad at lying? Yes. I thought I had gotten pretty good at lying over the past few months. I'm gonna doubt that. It was practically necessary to survive at home these days.
What? What?
Are we really an abusive Danny? Is the alley we're going? Anyway.
Or maybe they just mean it was necessary because I was spending all my time doing superhero shit.
Yeah. So the girl sighs and rubs her nose. Look, let me get my stuff deposited, and I'll see if I can't help you out. I mean, literally, if you let 5 people in front of you at this point, you might as well, call it loss on your, oh, I can't find my check, excuse, and just spend the next 10 minutes or so, actually, trying to rummage through your crap, standing off to the side, because the whole, oh, I just can't find the check, but I don't want to actually search for it. That is,
the second most suspicious thing you've ever said.
Only works for so long. I don't want to be stuck here for another 20 minutes. People will start calling the PRT thinking you're a villain or something. A stupid villain. Yes, actually, thank you, author, for bringing up the exact points that we brought up. I don't know how to
It's a
feel about
shame
this
you
one.
couldn't
I realize that the author is trying to make a point that Taylor is being stupid about this, but at the same time, I feel like he's really underestimating Taylor's intelligence, because she did come up with some wild shit to do with her power, and she munchkined it pretty hard. Up until the part where she took over everyone's
How do I
bodies.
kill someone who's invulnerable? I know. Superman still has to breathe. I know it's not Superman, but whatever her name is.
Well, I mean,
Still
that
has
was a
to
really
breathe.
no. That was just a that was an ass pull of wild proportions, and Wild Bo should feel ashamed that he did that.
I mean, no, look, I'm saying I get it, right? Like, the idea is inventive. The actual execution is stupid.
Well, yeah, but because the thing is, it's not like the skin of Alexandria is, frozen in time. It's literally every cell of her body. She doesn't need to eat. She doesn't need to sleep. Well, she shouldn't need to eat. She shouldn't need to sleep. She shouldn't need to breathe. It, you know. The reason why her brain could think is because her shard downloaded her brain and then ran a simulation of it on the shard.
Huh.
Literally every cell in Alexandria's body was frozen, and then Wildbow's like, "Oh, but she needs to breathe still." And it's like, wait, what? If every cell of her body is frozen, then why does she need to breathe? Oh, because
If
I
you've
need a
given
way to
them
kill
some-
her.
I know that's like you just admitted that she's a walking corpse, essentially, sir.
Yeah, it's an. Wildbow has multiple issues. There's a reason why I don't like Ward. Um, a lot of his issues when it comes to Worm, you can look over and just be like, yep, sure, whatever. And even when you read it through the first time, you can look over a lot of his ass pulls. Because, standard superhero stuff. But, like, when you actually sit down, because the thing is that Wildbow didn't write a superhero story. They wrote a superhero deconstruction story, where everything was grittier and more realistic. And then they have, Alexandria and Ensenada and a whole bunch. Like the other, how did Ensenada get into the vault in the first place?
Eh.
Who brought her into that vault?
What? What? No, nothing. She's just there.
Yeah. I thought you didn't like Ward because it kept going where it should have ended. No, honestly, I wanted more Worm. I would have loved to see a epilogue, or even sequel story. Following post events of Worm as everyone tries to make shit better, and it's just more deconstruction of Worm. Basically, deconstruction of Worm, yeah. But the problem when you do sequels, listen up, everyone. This is the education part. The problem when you do sequels is.
Wait, Sneaky, I thought the education part was us telling people how to rob stuff.
I mean that too, I suppose. Oh wait, you hated Taylor living after Contessa shot her in the head. No, I'm also fine with Taylor living after Contessa shot her in the head.
Okay, listen, if I can accept it as if I can accept the beginning of a Fallout game is I've been shot in the head and lived.
No, I mean, no, you can do that.
Medical cases of that happening.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Survive a lot.
As far as I'm concerned, Contessa is the one person I will accept who could do brain surgery with a 9mm. To be fair, it's a 9mm as well, yeah. If anyone in the entire world could do brain surgery using a 9mm, it's the person who has the I win button. That's just it. And so I'm fine with that. Honestly, I actually really enjoy the whole Taylor lives after and now she has to do things idea. Because it's very fun. Now it's a post maturity Taylor who's done all of the things, who's was a villain, was a hero, was a warlord, then took over everybody temporarily and went insane as she tried to kill a god.
Well, and one of the most important things about it is it's about the entire story should have been about consequences. Because remember, Taylor operated under the assumption that whatever happened, Taylor
Yeah.
was not going to be there.
Yeah. It would be a great any sort of sequel. So this is what gets into them. So the whole sequel thing. When you're doing a sequel, you lock yourself in. Sort of like how when you write fan fiction, you lock yourself into certain things. When you're doing a sequel to something, fan fiction, non fan fiction, you do lock yourself into certain things. You've already set up certain parts of the world. You've already set up certain characters who would act a certain way, and other things. And so it's not a open sandbox anymore. You have characters with expectations for those characters, and you have plot threads from the previous story, that all that fun gunk. So it's actually very limited in what Wild Bow could have done as far as a sequel to Worm goes, because with how he ended Worm, lots of worlds were destroyed, and pretty much all the survivors of Bet and a bunch of other worlds ended up on the same world now, and they're all trying to remake Earth basically. And while that could be interesting, a story about everyone trying to figure out what to do now and get along is just,
Like I said, the reason I would read a story would be I would want to read. I wouldn't want anybody else's point of view except maybe Danny's. No, hear me out. And I want it to be Taylor dealing with everything she's done and the results therein. With, whatever form of government there being like, all right, so we're not really sure how to deal with you because on one hand, you violated pretty much every human right possible. But
and violated ones we just invented.
But you did keep us all from getting murdered by a god, so
yeah,
we're gonna ask you to cool your heels for a couple months while we figure out what we're gonna do with you.
There was one story I remember seeing where the premise was Taylor settled down on this new planet, found a boyfriend, ended up marrying him. She's in her 35s now or something. She's got one kid. And then people start triggering again. For whatever reason. The author was kind of just shuffling that underneath the rug. It was like, don't pay attention to this part. Everyone's got powers again now.
Okay.
And it was written from the perspective of the daughter, but we all knew Taylor was the mother, and so the daughter's trying all of the shit that Taylor did, and Taylor's obviously seeing through it. She's like, look, I did this when I was your age.
Listen. Mom has conquered a few city blocks in the past, okay? Let me tell you how to do it correctly.
Well, no. More like, sneaking out and how they're sneaking out and to go do hero things and whatnot. It was a nice story. I sort of liked it. But, again, it had the problem of, while it was an interesting idea, where do you go from there, You've already jumped the shark when it comes to fighting back against the thing that creates powers.
And by the way, if you guys want to read an actually well-done version of that, go read about Mayday Parker. It was a mini-series that they specifically kept short because while the idea was fun, they were like, there's only so much we can do with Peter Parker retired as Spider-Man because he lost a leg. He married Mary Jane. They banged. Their kid has spider powers.
Right.
Now, granted, they are eventually supposedly going to bring her back. but that's going to be after a several-year hiatus. That's going to be after a very, very long hiatus for the original strip.
Right.
And they're doing it because they're like, we figured out a direction to take the character in, and we know how we can tell these stories without it being the stuff everybody's read in, stuff like The Son of Batman or The Son of Superman.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a nice idea on paper, but as the author found out when they got to the implementation of it, you know, what kind of stakes can there even be? It would be like a story of Goku beats everyone, and you know he's the strongest guy ever, and all the bad guys are beaten. And now this is a story from Trunks' point of view. Oh, a guy shows up. Oh, I'm gonna fight him. Oh, he was pretty hard, I guess.
What was Dad doing? Oh, Dad was being a shit dad again.
Well, I mean, no, because, in Dragon Ball Z, the threats are like, I'm gonna blow up this planet, I'm gonna blow up this galaxy, I'm gonna blow up the universe.
I did blow up the universe, now we're in a new one!
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, well, after you've scaled up to that point, and after you've beaten that sort of villain, I mean, Naruto and Boruto is having the exact same problem now. They've had Naruto fight all of these scaled threats, and it's like, what do you do now? Like, what kind of threat could you possibly write about with this story premise and still have people interested in seeing how it's going to pan out? And they went the absolute dumb route of escalating even further, and it's like, I'm going to go yeet reality itself, and it's just, it's so dumb. Boruto is dumb. It's fan fiction. Don't read it. But Boruto's the example, though, of what do you do after you fight a god? What do you do? What threat can you possibly come up with next? To make it interesting to the readers, because even if it's the hero's kid, no one's gonna want to read about how the hero's kid's beating up bandits. It's like, okay, well, that's cool and all, but I already read about how the hero, killed a god.
I'm sorry, it was 2 seasons ago that we fought God, now we're back to tuning exams?
Yeah, it's like, oh boy, here we go again. And so that's why I don't like Ward. I don't like the direction he took with it. There's not much you can't write a worm-sized story sequel to Worm. It's just not gonna happen. Me probably should have gone with like novelettes, maybe from each person's perspective. Maybe from Lisa's, maybe from Danny's, maybe from just short 600k stories of epilogue-ish stuff, but anyway, back to the story. Shit, my face heated up. Thanks. This is not what I needed. Not at all. I mean, you know what? I'll give the writer credit here. So far, their grammar's been great. Their pacing's been fairly decent. Their spelling's been fine. They have a idea of what the characters act like, and they're being consistent in that. And they're even showing it in the narrative, which is something so far beyond what we normally read. But the fact of the matter is that the premise is just very poorly worded. The summary was just god awful, and we're getting into this story, and it's been a whole it's been a whole hour now, and we're still in this story, not because of its any length or because we're spending a lot of time on the story itself. We're just spending a lot of time talking about things tangentially related to the story, because the story is just so boring.
We don't want to read this. Not because it's painful, but because we're bored.
Starting Taylor out at Brockton Bay General. I understand why the author did it. Bad move.
No. Here's the thing. They could have started her out with Brockton Bay General, but then they should have been in media res. Now, I don't think most people, I don't care if it's fan fiction or not, I don't think most people should do in media res for their first project. That's a terrible idea. In media res is hard as shit.
Not only that, it's maybe they could have started like right at the start of the fight instead of like right in the middle of the fight. That would have been okay. That probably would have been preferable. And then maybe because Taylor is not a frontline fighter, or at least she shouldn't be. Maybe while Taylor is trying to stop the villains with her bugs, she can be having an inner monologue of how embarrassed she was that she thought she could just walk into the bank and kind of patter about. That sort of thing. Basically describing her.
You could even be funny with it, author, and be like, if it hadn't been for the actual villain showing up, I'm pretty sure someone would have called the cops on me.
Make it a mildly amusing inner monologue as she's desperately trying to stop the villains with her bug swarms. And because, she's not a frontline fighter, she can do this. She can actually monologue in the middle of the fight because, she doesn't actually need to be in the fight.
Get them my bugs!
But...
And this is how my Tuesday's going.
Yeah, basically. And so... The author could have started this off on a better foot. Either start off with the combat, the robbery already occurring, break some expectations. People might think that Taylor in costume at Brockton Bay General Bank doing her hero stuff would actually not be hero stuff. Like she's actually helping the villains, and then Taylor's having her whole monologue. I was supposed to be intel. I was supposed to be recon. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I can't believe it came down to this. I can't believe I didn't see this coming. If these villains didn't show up, I would have been called a villain. And that's where everyone who's reading it goes, oh, wait, what? And then the author actually focuses on the combat, and it's actually Taylor fighting the Undersiders instead of fighting with the Undersiders. And then people go, okay, I'm interested.
In fact, if you were really good, you would start off with it like, there was that person with the dogs, there was that, there were shadows. Make it sound like she's working with the Outsiders.
You definitely can lead up to that easily, and it would have made an interesting little break. If you don't do that, then I don't start here. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Is either start with combat while you're at the bank, or just don't start the bank doing the reconnaissance thing and having this whole awkward meeting between Amy and Taylor. It's just a really good way to lose the audience. Is basically what I'm trying to get down to. It's not an interesting opening. It's not a hooky opening. And anyone who's actually read Worm will be like, oh, what stupid shit is Taylor doing at the start of her career now? And that's not really a good hook, A lot of people read Worm these days for either Taylor escalating or some other take on how Taylor handles things. And you didn't make full use of your deviations, I suppose is the best way to say it. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. My swarm I found out a while ago I could shift my emotions to them, blah blah blah. Figured out this good Samaritan to back off. I'm gonna keep my lookout, blah blah. Bees sting her. Then the doors flew inward. Everyone stay down, no one gets hurt. And blah 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 blah. I done my homework. There wasn't much on the Undersiders. Blah 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 blah. Stay here, I hissed to the girl. I had no idea if she could hear me. I couldn't hear myself. Man, PHO really undersold how creepy Gru was. I carefully got to my feet and edged towards the teller's counter. The one with the scepter, Regent, was trying to tie up the bank workers on the other side. From what my swarm told me, blah blah blah.
You okay there, buddy?
Yeah, my sinus just decided to empty itself into my mouth.
Ah, yes, always pleasant when that occurs.
Complication, nothing I couldn't work around, blah 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 blah. I had to sneak away. Okay, so, I realize this might be a bit outside of a teenager's perspective, but typically, you don't use a smokescreen to perform actions that are anything but run away, unless you can see through the smokescreen. Like, say, you have, I don't know, heat goggles and they don't, or something like that. Or, for example, you are a cape who can see through their own smokescreen.
Or you magically have bugs, maybe. I don't know.
Well, no, because the thing here is that Taylor is like, I'm going to be sneaky and use this smokescreen to sneak around. Meanwhile, the person who created it can see through it, and while I understand that's not maybe an obvious jump, she did say supposedly that she, researched these people, so she knows that his ability makes...
Like, she knows who he is.
She knows who he is and knows what his ability does, and now has felt the effects of the ability without being able to see, and is using her swarm sense to see around. And again, it's... I don't want to say it's 2 plus 2, but it's certainly damn close to 2 plus 2 of, I'm going to use a smoke screen to do something. I can see through the smoke screen somehow. Obviously. A smoke screen isn't really that good unless you can see through it or you're running away. But she's like, oh, none of them can see me, so I'm going to sneak through this smoke screen. And it's like, no. That's dumb, you're dumb. Anyway, I didn't want to use my entire swarm.
Is what we call a poor decision.
Nobody on PHO, blah 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 blah. She was dangerous, blah blah blah. I didn't want to use my swarm, not yet. They took too long to build up. You really should have been building up your swarm this entire time, Taylor. That you were shittily investigating this bank, Taylor. I mean, I know she's dumb, and I know she doesn't really quite think some things through, but she's fairly smart when she actually is, not being dumb as hell.
And, like, she's in a bank. Like, you could just start landing them on the roof. Like, oh, I don't want a giant cloud of bugs over the bank, so just land them on the roof. You know what no one can notice? If you just send, I don't know, 40, 50 bugs at a time onto the roof of a bank. Literally, no one without, like, life detection gear is going to notice that.
I can't afford to reveal myself as Taylor. I need to be the cape. I need backup and support, or at least one friend to help. I need a team before doing this.
So, okay. I'm sorry. We gotta take a second to talk about the biggest problem here. Taylor is acting as if she is part of a team, or should be part of a team, and has placed herself into the role of a team-based individual.
Yes.
She does not have a team.
Yeah, I'm really baffled by this. Okay, I'm gonna go scout out a bank robbery. Okay, I mean, it's a bit weird. Are you looking to scout out the building? No. I'm gonna scout out the bank robbery as it happens. Alright. And you're gonna do this by being behind the building or something, right? And using your bugs to check for the people that are arriving? No, I'm gonna stay inside the building. Okay. Alright. And you have some sort of backup, maybe other independents or New Wave or the PRT? No, I'm not part of a team yet. So you're going to recon a robbery in progress before it happens while you're inside during the robbery without a team to back you up once the robbery occurs. So what the fuck are you reconning?
Other than a grave.
Like, I could understand if Taylor was part of, some sort of independent team she got together, or, contacted New Wave about the tip she got or something. And she's like, yeah, I'll be in there. You guys wait a while off. You're really noticeable. And then I'll contact you the second the robbery starts so you can all get here lickety split. Okay, sure, yeah. Alright, fine. No. She's going to recon, for no one, a robbery in progress with her physical body with no plan, but having done prior research on the robbers, so she knows all of their powers without having any plan on how to get out of the situation that she's put herself into. It's one thing, it's one thing I can understand. Taylor, you're a first time hero, you're trying to go out doing heroing, and you turn the corner and you hear Lung go, shoot the kids, I don't care. Okay, fair enough. I can understand you being like, I don't know the situation, but he just told people to go shoot children in the back of the head. I'm gonna step in.
I
cannot
look. I'm not good at this, but I definitely can't let you shoot kids.
I think you're dumb, but I can understand why you would do that. This I'm not following. I'm not following. Who are you reconning for? Who are you gaining intel on for? What, did you think the bad guys were gonna show up and then just be like, yeah, this is the bank. Alright guys, we're coming back tomorrow.
I mean, actually, intelligent criminals do in fact do research, but...
But they did, though. That's the thing, is they already did the research. Now they're robbing the bank.
I would say, they're definitely not going to do what you're doing. In fact, they would, if they were doing research at the same time as you, they would go, shit, we have to leave and find another bank because some dumbass is already fucking it up.
Yeah. Anyway, the ABB would never have me since I wasn't Asian. No, I think Lung, wouldn't care if you had a good enough power. I'm pretty sure Lung would be like, alright, you work for me now.
As long as you weren't a Nazi, I don't think Lung cared.
Even if you are a Nazi, I don't think you have the option if Lung cares.
Okay. Yes, but you get my point. As
Max had a little chuckle in the background.
I'm sitting here just listening to this, to you guys while bitching about some story beats and another thing.
Nice.
As long as you aren't something Lung is likely to take exception to,
Yeah.
you should be fine.
I refuse to join the Nazis. Alright, that's understandable. I'd rather die than join the merchants. Fair enough. The PRT and the wards could fuck themselves with a rusty spoon. Fair enough. New Wave wasn't on the table. They'd make me reveal myself, and I couldn't do that under any circumstance. Never. Well, no they wouldn't. I'm pretty sure if you went to New Wave and went like, look, the government has fucked me over, and the gangs can go fuck themselves. I need a team to join, but under no circumstances can I reveal who I am. And then they'll be like, oh, well, why is that? And you can go, okay, well, look, domestic abuse. And I can't let people know that I am this person. And then New Wave, being made of mostly sensible people, would go, yes, we understand. We will make an exception in your case. Thank you for joining our team. Nobody else has in the past 12 years.
Yeah, it's weird. Nobody wanted to join us. Ever.
Did you even do any research there, Taylor? No one could ever find out Taylor Hebert had power. The day the world found out Taylor had power would be day that Taylor died. Though, if this went south, as long as my face and powers weren't put together, I could always try to meet up with Perrier and see if I could get a job with her. She made dresses. I could weave dresses out of spider silk. We'd be awesome together. That helped people too, right? Well, I mean, honestly, Taylor, at this point, just getting you off of the streets and your rampant idiot ball stupidity just inside the single building, restricted to clothes, that would be helping people. So, yes, that would be actually preferable.
Actually, and I'm sure there's someone who's done it much, much better. Is there a story about that where Taylor goes, what if instead of fighting people, I made money?
There's a couple like that. I don't think any of them are using Taylor's original power, though. Shaking my head, I pulled back some of my emotions from the storm and refocused. I need to get back in the moment. There's a danger of shunting too much away. It could lead to my main consciousness focusing on the wrong portion of the problem. And I can multitask with no one's business, but I still had a primary task, usually. At least I had gotten to the edge of darkness while wool gathering. Grabbing the pepper spray from my purse, I placed my hand on the counter and vaulted over it. Landing on the other side, I managed to get inside Regent eye holes. Ugh, what the hell, you crazy bitch. Like he didn't notice the fact that a nervous system was crawling towards him. Okay, sure.
It's not like his power is that.
Yeah.
But
Get the hell off
hey.
me. I ignored his yell and drove my elbow into his stomach, and rolling free as he wheezed and tried to weakly swing. Coming up to my feet, I grinned. Maybe this wouldn't be so hard at all. Now I just have to fight everyone else. That plan died a fiery death. As soon as my mind caught up with my swarm sense, my eyes tracked, and I found hard to swallow, blah blah blah, Gru and Hellhound cracking their knuckles. What part of stay down and don't get hurt did you not understand? You rob from gangs, not from people. What are you doing from here? People are going to get hurt. I mean, honestly, Taylor, look, it's a private bank. They're effectively a gang. Let's be honest here. Also, unless you're really dumb and you're keeping over $250,000 in a single location, all of that money's insured. So you're really not even stealing from
There's
anyone.
this little thing called the FDIC.
So, I mean,
It's almost like the U.S. government realized that in order to keep people believing in banks after the Depression, they needed some way to guarantee themselves that, in case another Depression happened, they wouldn't all be fucking homeless, broke losers.
who would then try to overthrow the government.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of that going around.
Yeah, like me, Regent whined from the ground. Shut up, Regent. Gru, bitch, deal with this. I got this. Oh, wait, so deal with the vault. I got this. The runt attacked us. I met her eye and bared my teeth right back at her. Oh! So this is a wildly different Taylor. They're shitty libertarians, I guess. Wards will be here in 5 minutes. Get the vault open. Want to play hero, huh? Brave for someone without powers, or maybe you do have powers and you're too scared. You like to talk. BHO agrees on that. You're gonna get someone hurt by being here. Maybe. That's kind of what we do. But I guess you'd know all about that, wouldn't you? What are you talking about? Tattletale tapped her head. I'm psychic, blah blah blah. And you are the daughter of a villain. I sucked in wait. Is that what we're going with here?
Is it?
Okay. Well, are we really going with Danny as a villain?
Wait, no.
I mean, I guess we are.
We're not
Okay.
doing that, are we?
Yep. I froze and panicked at the fact that my secret was out. And then Panacea comes swinging a fire extinguisher and nearly clocks Tattletale with it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that would kill someone. I guess she could fix it. But, you know. Why? Nosehair asks why. The answer to that, Nosehair, is something we will never find out. Not one to let an opportunity go. I brought up my pepper spray. Blah blah blah. Bugs, huh? Blah blah blah. Shut up. You're the one robbing the bank. And so far, you're the only one who's ever hurt people here. Did you realize that? No. Maybe you should consider the fact that you're the one hurting people. Not very sporting, Miss Villain. Blah blah blah. You should at least wear a costume if you're gonna be a villain. Oh, her words hit me like a slap in the face. She was right. I was the only person hurting people. But was I like them? No, I wasn't a villain. This is what Tattletale does. She gets in your head and fucked with you. I mean, I could point out a lot of other things that would fuck with you a lot more, like how you're such a blithering retard, but, you know, I guess that's not gonna happen here. You're one to talk. You're no better than the merchants. Just because you don't look like drugged up psychos doesn't make you less accountable for all the damage you do by holding people hostage. Oh, Panacea. I'm hurt. I tackled Panacea to the floor? The merchants. You could have at least compared us to the ABB or E88. On second thought, just the ABB. I'd rather be compared to druggies than a neo-Nazi. But I digress. I mean, honestly, you kind of are more like the E88 than anything else. Is you espouse your personal ideology and you use it to recruit people who mean well and inevitably twist them into the point where they are doing crime. That sounds like pretty much the
Are we talking about the
88.
Catholic Church?
No, I thought we were talking about the U.S. government.
Oh.
With Panacea here, you know her sister's coming too. Get out now. Drew's darkness blocks everything. Gigi doesn't know it. Count of 5. We both know you won't do anything. You're so scared. You're really scared. You just refuse to break the rules that you've set for yourself. Blah blah. Prove yourself your daddy's little daughter. Blah blah blah. Just kill everyone.
Like, where is this all coming from?
Taylor, so as the fandom has increased and the amount of people reading Worm has decreased, inside the fandom. Lots of interpretations of Tattletale have emerged. The most popular interpretation of Tattletale is the plot spewing Tattletale, where Tattletale's sole purpose is to reveal a bunch of plot-based things at the right time to allow plot to continue forward.
I see.
Yeah. Blah, 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 all of Amy's insecurities that she really shouldn't even know. Like, Tattletale's power is super deduction, meaning she can take you shifting on your one leg, 10 times in the span of a minute to realize that you're a bit lame in that leg. Or she can look at keys on a keyboard to see what you've pressed the most, and possibly might be able to guess the password from that. That sort of thing.
Or I would just say, or at least get, the 4 keys likely, and then work from there.
The reason why Tattletale talks so much in canon is because she's throwing things out there to see what sticks, to see what someone reacts to, so then her power can pick up on that and extrapolate. But all she needs is one little nudge. You're not going to give it today because you're just scared as a miss. Broke off mid-rant and looked at me in horror. No way, fuck me. I glanced at Amy. Blah blah, she was shaking like a leaf. Fine, fuck this, stand down, I'm done. Tattletale. Look, I think we may have gone off the wrong foot here. Like you said, I don't want to be here. We're just taking orders. Please let us go. We're leaving now. We're leaving, guys. We're not done here. Time to go now. The 2 other ran out of the bank. Gru stopped to pick up Regent. Now she looked between Amy and Tattletale. Fuck. Glory girls inbound. Go, 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 go. And they all ran away. I turned to Amy. Hey, are you okay? Cover your face. What? The darkness is fading away. I felt the bugs come down from the ceiling. Everyone must have. You and I are the only 2 people who fought back. Everyone knows I'm Panacea. Doesn't take a genius to realize you're the other cape. Cover yourself now. I O-faced and gasped. I'm so stupid. I fell backwards and squeezed my face. All of my bugs then flew away. I'm now crying because this wasn't how the day was supposed to go. This day... Yes, O-faced. This day wasn't how it was supposed to go. I was supposed to get in, observe the robbery, and get out.
And what would that do for your hero career?
I don't know. I don't know. And even more just confusing is the fact that she didn't need to do anything. She literally could have just, the robbers come in, she acts like a scared patron, and then the robbers leave, and then she leaves. If that was her plan from the beginning, why didn't she do that? Oh, she didn't do it because she's dumb and has no actual idea of what her own plan is, apparently. I can't handle this. I can handle being a robot, but I can't handle being a teenage girl. I don't have a group. I need a group. I'm gonna go talk to Perian. I'm going to cease existing now. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I can help you calm down. Do you want me to help you calm down? I'm sorry, I don't know your name. My name's Taylor. I pushed it away for too long. I can't focus. I can't breathe. Help me. I think you're having a panic attack. I don't like doing this to people. Why is Taylor having a panic attack? Did Taylor ever have a panic attack in canon?
Maybe one at the very end? Like, when things were going way out of control and she was like, oh, I'm becoming a terrible human being.
No, I mean, like, she's pretty much responded to panic with anger. Um, like, Alexandra's like, I'm gonna kill your friend, and Taylor's like, oh my god, she's gonna kill my friends. And so she's panicking a bunch, and with that panic, she's like, I'm gonna murder her! And it's like, okay. That's one way to avoid a panic attack, is murder. Okay. Um, next something, I suddenly was calm again. Thanks, it's a lot better. You're calm now. What happened? It's complicated. I'd rather not talk about it. Blah, 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 blah. Telltale said before, I know New Wave is supposed to be open about things. Um, I'm really, really not. Don't say anything. Please don't say anything. I don't want you to say anything. And I started spiraling out of control again, and then Amy hugged me. You're not the only one with villain parent issues. I mean, does Amy even know about her villain parent at this point?
She shouldn't.
No, Tattletale was the one to tell her about that.
Yeah, but she has no idea that Tattletale is truthful, like, knows what she's talking about, I guess.
Yeah, but the thing is that during the bank scene, Tattletale says it to Amy, and then Amy's like, "What?" And then Amy does her own research, and then eventually does, find out that it's the truth. And then she snaps during the Slaughterhouse 9 arc, and ends up going to jail and meets her dad.
Mm.
So it wasn't even like she took Tattletale's word and during the bank arc. She literally, Tattletale goes, "Oh, your dad's blank," and Amy's like, "I don't know if I believe that, fam," and then does her own research, and then finds out that yeah, it's true, but it's not
Yeah.
the point.
And then somehow begins to get a relationship with her father.
Well, I mean, they both got sent to jail, and Amy had kind of murdered some people, and yeah. And then Glory Girl crashes through. Man, Ames, who's your new girlfriend? Is she a recruit? A captured villain? Vicky, shut up. I'm helping someone calm down. And Glory Girl's like, yeah, that's why you were about to kiss her. Come on. You were totally seducing that person. What? Vicky, stop. And then she's blushing a bunch. It's cool. I can't blame you for trying. I don't bat for that team. How is it, new girl? Has my sister convinced you to join us yet? You prevent her from getting any money. Bug girl, I'm taking my hand off now. Are you okay for the moment? Yeah, I'm okay. Even if I start freaking out again, I got it handled. Glory girl, blah blah blah. Sure, I'll meet you outside, blah blah. Today was the worst idea ever. Here's my PHO handle and here's my phone number. We need to talk about parent things, and we need to actually get you some emotional therapy, because whatever you're doing is not healthy. Considering how you're breaking down before my freak out, I don't think you want to lecture me about emotional health. But yeah, I agree. Okay, that's a really shit comeback. I mean, honestly, you were just literally on the floor, crying, having a panic attack. That is nowhere near her freezing up and going pale. That nowhere near. Nowhere near. I waited for the count of 10, drew my swarm about myself to prevent anyone from looking at me, and then I ran away. Okay, so that was the dumbest fucking story we've read in a while. Yeah, actually, because it was boring as shit, and then we had the action, which didn't actually end up being all that actiony. And then Tattletale said a whole bunch of plot shit that she really shouldn't have been able to know or even inference. And then Taylor had a panic attack, and then Amy helped her and was a big fucking whoopee. And then Laura Girl's like, bow chicka wow wow. And then they both started blushing, and then Amy gave her the telephone number, and they walked away.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've seen more blatant attempts at setting up the pairing. Not even in Worm, but I've seen more blatant attempts at setting up a pairing before. I give you a 4 out of 10 on that one. It was pretty shit. You at least had them have a normal conversation and stay relevant and on topic to that conversation. So I'll give you kudos on that one. And it sounded like two humans talking to each other, so I'll give you kudos on that. But frankly, my dear, it was just god awful all around. Almost fell asleep reading that, honestly. So, and with that, that is the end of that chapter, which means we got about 30 minutes left, and that's just enough time for a just fucking numb story. Like this one. Naruto High School D times D.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Oh boy.
Wait, did we already cover this? I think we did. No, we haven't. Okay. Unfortunate for you guys. So this is Naruto Life as a Devil. This is a multiple crossover story from many different shows and games and dumping everything into the D times D world. I listed it under Naruto because Naruto will be the main crossover. Rated M for language and safety. If you don't like it, don't read it. Irregular updates. Hiatus time. Don't mind me. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, and various other denominations. This story has been knocking around my skull for about a year now. And I have
Why do
finished...
people say that? Oh, this has been knocking around my skull. Like,
You know, it's amusing because it's like, oh, I've been thinking about this for 5 years. Alright, so does that mean you've been planning it for 5 years? No! What's planning? Good.
glad we cleared that up.
Blah, blah, blah. I think people just do it to be like, look how long I've spent thinking about this story. It's like, okay, well, have you actually used that time you've been thinking about this story to do things like get a handle on the characters or research or have any idea beyond like 1 to 3 cool scenes you thought of? No. Well, okay. I don't know what the time span involved in thinking about it was supposed to mean to me then. Let me say it now. There is no pairing in this story. I am going to roll the dice and let them fall as they may. He may even have a harem. I don't even know. This story, for all intents and purposes, is going to be a character sandbox. The only exception to this is his peerage, which has been chosen already. So please, don't tell me what to do. You will find out what I'm going to do. Oh, this story is a crossover of the following works: Naruto, High School D times D, Bleach, Ruby, Sekirei,
Such a long list.
Soul Calibur, Basilisk, Legend of Dragoon, Assassination Classroom,
Oh no.
Overlord, History's Strongest Disciple, Fire Emblem, the DC Universe, and Samurai Warriors?
Oh this is such a gem you pulled out for us.
What is this disclaimer? What is this crossover?
Disclaimer from hell.
What? How are you even going to fit some of these in? That one's an isekai! How are you going to fit this in? That one takes place in an alternate universe in the past. That one takes place in an alternate universe in the past. That one takes place in an alternate universe in the past. That one takes place in an alternate universe in the future. That one takes place in an alternate universe. That one could probably work. That one could probably work. That one could probably work. That one takes place in an alternate universe, and that one takes place in an alternate universe. And don't even get me started on trying to mash it into the DC universe.
Yeah.
What? Alright, so OC is dying. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Asmodeus, he's very strong. He's a very strong man. He's very strong, and he loves his family, and he's very strong. And his family was loved. But even though he's very strong, he loves his family, and he's killed a shit ton of people, he was also a pious charity soul. And, his old friends, the Gremory House, who served him well. Blah, blah, blah. He made sure to reward everyone that ever served him with lots of gifts and, stuff. Oh my fucking god.
You sound ready to just... You sound like you're just done.
So he hatched a plan, and he now waited for the findings. Then the door opened, and the two youngest of his loyal maids entered. They were teenage twins. Have you found it then, Militia and Melania? Melanie.
Oh, he's one of those people that doesn't know that her name is Milta, not Militia. He added an extra I. Those are the girls from the nightclub in Ruby.
Yeah, the nightclub Ruby girls are here, but in maid outfits. Because reasons, I guess. Yes, Master Gresson. The subject that has all the particulars you have asked for. Also, like, they don't even have their original personalities. So it's literally the flesh puppets, formerly known as Gresson had rescued them from a collapsing world and rewarded them with loyalty. So the author is not being even low-key. This is literally the Ruby characters that his OC invaded Remnant and stole from.
Okay.
Why those two? There is so many other characters in Ruby. Also, their personalities are just non-existent now. I mean, they were basically the bitchy two. And now they're like, master, 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 master.
Alright, I'm back. There's no booze in my house. How am I gonna make it through this stream?
You're gonna wish you had some because let me tell you. So we have a original character, Devil, from the D times D verse, who went into the Rubyverse, stole Milta and Melanie, and from Junior, brought them back to the D times D-verse, made them devils, and now they're his servants.
Yeah, see.
Who he's going to give to Naruto.
Oh, and Fire Emblem somehow.
Oh, that's right. Were you not here for the announcement of what crossover this is?
No, I was drinking. Or trying to find
Naruto,
something to drink.
Naruto, D times D, Bleach, Ruby, Sekirei, Soul Calibur, Basilisk, Legend of Dragoon, Assassination Classroom, Overlord, History's Strongest Disciple, Fire Emblem, the DC Universe, and Samurai Warriors.
That sounds terrible. By the way, do you want to know what my biggest complaint about Legend of Dragoon was?
What?
You're not a goddamn Dragoon! You're some
Fair enough.
dude that gets on a dragon. Listen here. If I wanted to be a dragon, I would go play Divinity Dragon Commander. If I want to murder dragons with a spear, I want to play a game where I'm a Dragoon. Don't lie to me, game. No, for real though, like, why they haven't made some kind of standalone action RPG Dragoon game, I have no fucking idea.
You know,
Aside from Lucifer, this original
their
character...
fault Final Fantasy lied about what dragoons are.
this original character...
15 got it right though.
This original character is the oldest living devil besides Lucifer.
Oh, of course they are.
Shall we commence with obtaining the subject? Yes. Bring me the hope. Soon he would have a successor. And 14-year-old Uzumaki Naruto stood over the devastating landscape that has once been his village. What had happened to his home? Where was everyone? With those thoughts in his mind, Naruto shifted through the rubble. He returned to Konoha early from his trip with his teacher, almost a full year early. It wasn't that he was finished with his training, he wasn't even close to finished with his training, but Jiraiya had disappeared on him 3 months ago. So he went to Konoha. And he never imagined that Konoha was gone. And Pain was there. And Pain killed Jiraiya early, and also flattened Konoha early. And so Naruto is screaming at Pain a bunch.
Sorry,
And,
just saw a word that I didn't know existed.
Pain goes, I am going to kill everyone in this world, and then kill myself. And Naruto's like, what? Blah, 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 blah. And then, Militia and Melanie, Miltia? How the fuck you say her name? Eminem.
Militia?
Eminem,
yeah.
the Eminem sisters, then proceeded to, high heel kick him in the face.
I mean, yes, they do that.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, our master needs you. We'll be taking him. I don't think so, but we do. And then, blah, blah. Do I get a choice in this? No. Fine then. Blah, blah. The Eminem sisters. Blah, blah, blah. We will be taking him. Devil House. Are you high? The only devil in this world are humans. I don't care about your stupid views. So the author is setting up a Shawman of Pain, specifically to slap that Shawman down using Ruby characters.
Guys, I know how I'll defeat a straw man of one of the thing's worst villains. I'll straw man him and then bring in characters from a completely other universe.
Who got themselves nearly beaten by hunters in training.
Yep. Also, their personality has been replaced with Dutiful Servant.
Oh yeah, that too.
Blah 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 blah. And then Pain died. And then Naruto looked over at this other person, and her name was Conan. And she goes, I worked with this nut job. I was under the impression we were trying to build peace. I wasn't aware that he was trying to just kill everyone. So I killed him. And then I crushed his eyeballs. And then I set him on fire. and then it caved in the entire cave he was in. And the M&M sisters gave Conan admiring looks at her completely new personality shift, and Naruto was confused. No kill like overkill, Naruto, the person who's never killed anyone, says. Um, are you leaving this world? Take me with you. Our orders are to technically make you our boss, so we're gonna leave this up to you. Why not? Sure. Cynicism does not become you. My home destroyed, I was attacked by a genocidal asshole, saved by twins in maid outfits, and saved by another woman who could probably give the Shinigami a good run in a staring contest. And now, for some reason, you're saying I'm your boss. So fuck you, I'm gonna be sullen, cynical, and sarcastic. You let that sink in for a little bit. So are you taking me with you or not? Naruto looked at her and said, sure, come along. You're taking this surprisingly well. Really? I think I'm just in shock. All three women looked sheepish. Fair enough.
Can we
They
please
all
just forget
muttered
this
in
stupid
concert.
thing?
No, this is a just fucking dumb story I'm using to fill out the time.
I know! It's painful!
Why is Naruto the most reasonable character so far? That is a depressingly good point.
I mean, to be fair, there are times when that was what occurred in canon.
Yes, true enough. Now
Where
I'm
you
feeling
sat there
like
and you went, wait a
Sasuke.
minute, Naruto's the reasonable one? The shit?
I was reading a Ruby story recently where John went on this whole tirade because his team was Blake, Weiss, Pyrrha, and him, and he goes on this whole rant because Blake runs off during that whole "I'm White Fang" fiasco.
Yeah.
And he goes
I'm a
off.
terrorist!
He goes off with this whole rant of like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I'm the reasonable one around here now. I'm supposed to be the unreasonable one, making completely ridiculous suggestions that are almost likely to fail without without fail. You guys are all supposed to be my filter for my stupidity, and yet here I am, the only one making fucking sense right now." And it was a good rant. It was a good rant. I liked it. It's a good story. I like it.
Oh, what is this you have said?
John, the not social reject, is decidedly not going to put up with Blake's shit, and I really enjoy it so far.
I mean, look, I do appreciate that. John being the one to go, no, fuck you!
Look, I have 7 sisters. I'm not putting up with this bullshit.
I ran away from home to stop putting up with this bullshit. The real reason John ran away from home.
We need a Ruby story with that now. The real reason he ran away from home is to get away from that nonsense. We're taking you with our underworld, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. And Naruto looked at the setup they were doing. And Naruto could easily pick apart the entire transportation circle, even though it wasn't Fuinjutsu, and it was a completely different magic system. You're not even curious about the existence of devils, not really, since there's people in this world that can breathe fire and lightning, manipulate water from the air itself, and command the wind. A devil is hardly something to bat an eyelash at. That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, considering that his village was apparently made by a guy who created an entire forest in a single day, hey, there's non-humans that exist that have bat wings. Cool. Neat. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah. Why isn't he as simple-minded as he seems? This would have been so much easier. A fool would be placated by an apology. Who knows what a man of depth might want in compensation? He won't mind, a sudden voice in her ear startled her. Eminem spun around and realized that she came face to face with a strange mask. It was Cat. Anbu, Neko-chan. Anbu, the elite forces of a village. They obeyed the commander. What was she doing here? Uzumaki Naruto, in the final command of the Senju Tsunade, I was to find you. Having succeeded in that, my objective is to change, should the village have fallen, to protect you until you die. From this moment on, you are my Hokage, carrying the entirety of the Konoha's Will of Fire. Neko, what about everyone else? Are any other survivors? No one else survived. I'm sorry, we've lost everything. Blah, blah, blah. And then Neko started crying onto his shoulder. Blah, blah. She didn't know Uzumaki well beyond a few missions that Naruto had been sent on. But she had guarded him for some period of time, and she was always impressed by his cheerfulness. Blah, 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 blah. Jiraiya's dead. Blah, blah, blah. Naruto-sama, we have other things. Tsunade-sama. Tsunade-sama made sure to send me off with a bunch of shit. This is all happening. I understand if you want to take this long. Naruto-sama, why does only one eye weep? Oh, it's fake, Neko. One of the enemies I faced last year got too creative. I only have one eye now. Okay, so apparently Naruto has only one eye. You realize that the eye isn't required to cry? So even if you only have one eye, you would still cry out of both sockets?
I'm gonna blame anime for the author here doing this.
That's fair.
Because it's not a well-known trope, but I've seen it in, I want to say, 3 or 4 manga or anime.
Well, I mean, no, to be fair, if it was some sort of, like, beast claw that, like, tore through the eye socket, or if it was some sort of, like, fire,
no, that socket was untouched.
Okay, yeah.
In the ones I'm talking, in the ones I remember, maybe one of them, it was clearly, like, a wound that just tore the socket apart, so it probably took the tear gland with it.
Yeah.
And the tear ducts. But no, the other 2 or 3 are just like, no, just straight up, you just have a fake eye for some reason. No battle damage. Never talked about how
here's the
someone
thing, right?
knocked
I
it
think
out.
one of my favorites is when the guy has a fake eye and makes up stories about it, just for shits and giggles. Like,
Honestly, I'm
how
kind
did
of
you get
confused
that
here,
fake eye?
though.
And it's a different piece of bullshit every time.
Yeah.
Well, I was wrestling a bear, or this guy had a gun, or I fell on a kitchen knife.
Honestly, I'm
the
kind of
older I
confused
worked
here,
for
though,
Cleveland,
because
that
I don't
was
really
not
understand how Naruto, of all people, couldn't regenerate an eye when he literally regenerated, like, a lot more than an eye, canonically.
Yeah, well, I mean, considering once you go past the second tail, it literally tears your body apart at a cellular level while also regenerating it at a cellular level at roughly the same rate. Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
And everyone stared at him with shocked face. He smirked at them. Come on, ladies, if you think you're shocked, think how my opponents would be that they got their ass kicked by a half-blind man. On the upside, it moves and focuses like a normal eye, so it's capable of fooling my enemies. And then everyone was like, wow, you're so amazing, Naruto. So,
Naruto, have my whatever, I don't know, freakish half-breed
Uzuki
rabbit children.
Yuago-chan, she blushed at the suffix. Alright, I've decided. Unless you have to, I don't want you wearing that mask. I get the feeling I'm going to need a friend in the days to come. At least we have history together. Very well. I take it the scroll holds things you're talking about? things. Blah blah blah. Shutter. I'm gonna study them. Break. Naruto gets teleported into a mansion. And all of the maids and butlers bowed to him. On behalf of
Really?
everyone...
I thought they were gonna call him Master and suck his dick first.
Oh boy. I welcome you, Naruto-sama. I'm Sabas! You know, from Overlord.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Leave Sabus alone. He's an actually nice character.
I'm actually really annoyed at this name because it's so dumb. It's literally just,
Sasuke Ainsama!
I don't understand what you said, and I would appreciate it if you never said it again.
just call him Sebastian, you fucking...
He
Don't put
regenerated
space.
his heart, like, after it got shredded. So...
He got damn near Kalimad and regenerated his heart.
Seiba-san, just Seibas is fine, Naruto-sama. Kunoichi, blah blah blah, assassination points, blah 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 blah. Is everything alright? I'm well enough, but someone trained as shinobi, an assassin, could make this place into a murder house. It's a little offsetting. I see, yes, this mansion was designed before the days of assassination was common. I'm gonna heavy doubt that, fam. I'm gonna take a page out of
Press X to doubt.
I'm gonna take a page out of Fallout's book here in a real quick second. Ever since man discovered the killing power of rock and bone, I'm pretty sure assassinations existed.
I'm not strong enough to kill... That guy weighs 300 pounds and all of it is muscle. I can't kill him on my own. I can't kill him in a fight. But he has to sleep sometime.
Okay, but to be fair, that's basically the entirety of the human race. Whenever we're hunting something back then, it has to sleep sometime, and we don't.
That is exactly my point. Like, the only thing that changed between humanity's hunting patterns and assassinations was what we were fucking murdering. That's the only thing that changed. We went from murdering woolly mammoths to marrying the fat guy who told me to eat cake.
Marrying the fat guy? I didn't know you were into that.
Burying, you fuckwit.
Anyway, blah 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 blah. The servants are all super strong here. Blah blah blah.
Because this is an Overlord fucking ripoff. Why the fuck not? Can you guys just leave the actually okay animes alone?
I know, right?
Go fuck with like Slime or something.
Blah 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 blah. Twins have returned. Blah blah. Let them in. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah. Second thing you took note was the demure yet seductive white dress. Blah blah. Oh boy. It's fucking what's her face.
Albedo?
Yeah.
Oh wait, isn't she literally written, programmed, whatever, to be boning one man?
Yeah.
And his name isn't Naruto, who's a fuckwit?
Yeah.
I think that... Are these them after Ainz got transported? Or did Ainz just
I don't even know, man. Look,
Well, if they're acting like real people, then it has to be post Ainz becoming...
Well, yes, but if Ainz was never actually a factor for them, like, if he didn't transfer over with them, he might not have fucked with the backstory.
Okay, yeah, but the
But then she would just be a bitch.
No, her old backstory was in she's just a slut.
No, her old backstory was she's a bitch.
Yeah, she was,
That was literally the backstory.
yeah,
She's super hot, but
cold-hearted.
she's a bitch.
I thought she just loved everyone. I mean, sexually loved everyone, not...
No, No,
No.
that is like the opposite of what her backstory actually was.
It's been a while.
The thing Ainz added is, but she's totally mad, but she's totally got the hots for Ainz, or
Right.
whatever it was he said, bud.
Yeah. Blah blah. She's young,
big
good
soon,
looking.
unless
Blah
it's
blah blah. Heavy cough. Blah 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 blah. Grasson has Modai. Blah blah. She never heard him be polite. Blah blah. Valiant speaking. Blah blah. Young man with manners. Blah 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 blah. Oh, I have manners. I just reserve them for people that are important. Blah blah blah.
Okay, look, if you're mouthing off to Sebis, you deserve whatever
No,
the
no,
fuck
he's
happened to
talking to the OC of superpowers that was able to go to other realities and kidnap people.
you. Oh, that one.
Blah blah blah. Government stance. Blah blah blah. Another house, the same opinion. Blah blah. Blah 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 blah. I wish to formally adopt you as my son and inherit everything I own. I want to adopt you as my son using an ancient ritual so my house is not destroyed upon my death. That means everything I own will become yours, including all the servants. I don't suppose I have time to think about this. You have a few weeks, a month at most. I'm nearly dead. One question, why me? My wife was a blonde, blah blah blah, blue eyes, blah blah blah, Hail Hoytler.
I am secretly a Nazi! That's why I adopted a blonde child!
Oh,
I mean, you know what?
why
At
would
least
you pick me? Well, you see, you're white with blonde hair and blue eyes. It's like, well, hold on there, Hitler.
Hold up there, Hitler! Do we have a gift that's just, now hold on there, Hitler?
I don't think
I'm
so.
sure it exists somewhere.
It should exist, and someone should probably find it for us.
Isley! Where the hell is Isley? Is she napping again? Or fapping again?
Probably. I think she's napping. Supposedly, she was busy working at Amazon.
Yes.
These
being a
fiscal
corporate
qualities,
wage
blah
slave.
blah blah, legitimacy as what I name, blah 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 blah. If that was all that was required,
Google.
blah blah blah.
What is wrong with you?
Grasson Sama was insistent that we find morals and ethics similar to him. Of the potential candidates, you, Uzumaki Naruto, have everything as close to him as possible. In other words, he wants a strong person, not just a powerful one.
What?
Let me think about it, blah
No,
blah
he
blah.
wants a moral person, you idiot!
Yeah. Naruto, why did you say you could get an answer so quickly? First, I need a grief for Konoha. That'll take a few days, maybe a full week. All the women blushed because they forgot about the village and they kicked themselves. How could they have forgotten about the village already?
What?
Alright.
What do you mean they forgot?
You said that was the first week. What's your second week? I think I should talk to you both in depth about this. Both of you followed me from our world to here. I think it's only fair you have a say in where we go from here. I can give you my answer right now. I'm at least half of this world, so I don't mind if you take him up on that offer. Because she sprouted fallen angel wings from her back.
Oh, Jesus fucking...
Because of course Conan is a fallen angel from the D times D verse that just happened to be in the canonical Naruto verse.
Jesus tap dancing Christ. Kill us all.
I think there are things we need to talk about, but we should come to that after we grieve. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Yes, blah blah blah. My bouncers, maids, and butlers are all from Overlord. Blah blah. Yes, all the floor guardians from Overlord are also the house guardians. No, I won't tell you his peerage.
Good. No one cares, and we aren't reading this past chapter 1.
Blah blah blah. Peerage hint. The bishop is going to be I get jealous when others tease my perverted dragon.
What?
The bishop is going to be, I get jealous when others tease my perverted dragon. So that's going to be either Asia or Rias, then, probably.
Okay.
Because of course it will be. Anyway, that puts us just at the 9 o'clock mark. Excellent. And we never have to hear from this story again, which is double excellent.
That's just blessing from God.
Let's see. So, final words. Not much to say. Didn't have as much fun this session as I did normally. Because again, there wasn't much to say. There wasn't much to make fun of. It was mostly just bad writing on top of bad writing with a dash of bad writing. We explained the parts that needed explaining. We debated the parts that need debating.
We went wildly off topic because we were bored and sad.
That too. But, you know what? We all had fun here, or at least some semblance of fun, I suppose. That's why we all keep coming back.
I thought it was because I was, at some distant point in the future, promised money.
You were, at some point in the distant future. With that, you should tell your friends, tell your enemies, maybe tell your family. Probably don't tell your family. But, you know, we'll be here 7 o'clock to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday and every Friday. So we'll see you next time, because there's always more, and it always gets worse.